Hi, my name is Victoria, and welcome to my channel, Yogini Victoria. Please subscribe to get notified when I release new yoga videos. You can also find me on Instagram and Facebook at Yogini_Victoria. And last quick announcement, I have a website now, which is super exciting. So you can find me there as well at yoginivictoria.com. In addition to releasing YouTube videos there, I'm also going to create blog posts, and it'll just be a great space for us to all connect and share and practice yoga together. So I'm really looking forward to you joining, and thank you for being here. So today's class is a quick little lower back stretching class. I think low back pain is very common, unfortunately, in many adults, especially if you sit at a desk all day. So for this practice, I am recommending a yoga mat or a soft, comfy surface. We are going to be seated this entire time. I also recommend a blanket. So I have this sort of like kind of thickish blanket that's very common in if you go to a yoga studio. This is the type of blanket that they usually have. I think this is like a Mexican style, but you're welcome to use, any blankets that you have at home. Ideally, you want it to be something that's a little bit firm, so it will be cushiony, but also won't provide it'll provide a little bit extra support than like a fleece blanket or a duvet cover or something like that. So, yeah, that's all you need for this class, and uh, and also comfy clothes. As you can see, I'm very comfy right now. Okay, so to get started, you can just come into a cross-legged position, and if you'd want to sit on the blanket, that's nice to just elevate the pelvis a little bit so you can begin to find some length throughout your spine. And a lot of times, if you're very tight, some people, when they sit cross-legged, they might find that their knees are all the way up here, that they start rounding through their low back. So that's obviously not helping. That's why I highly recommend elevating your pelvis on a blanket, maybe even a few blankets. If you have a yoga block, you can also sit on the yoga block. You want to find nice alignment along your spine. Relax your shoulders down, away from your ears. And to begin, you can place your hands on your knees or just hold them in your lap. We're just going to ground in this practice for a moment before we move on with the stretching. So if you feel comfortable, you can close your eyes or take your gaze down to the ground. Maybe inhale in through the nose and sigh out through the mouth. Just relaxing into this moment. Taking some time to be present. And as you settle in, begin to notice your breath. In and out through the nose. Notice the rise and fall of the belly and the chest. Relax your hands. And soften your shoulders. Soften your neck. You can release your tongue from the roof of your mouth, releasing tension in your jaw as well. And notice if you are tense or tight in any areas of your body. just focus on those areas for a few minutes. Just breathe into those spots. With every exhale, visualize that area of your body is softening and surrendering to this moment. And on your next exhale, let's dip the chin in towards the chest. Just keep the shoulders back. Allow your head to be super heavy. Take a few deep breaths here in the back of your neck, just noticing the sensation. And on your next exhale, let's tilt the right ear to the right shoulder. And if you want to deepen this pose a little bit, you could extend your left fingertips beside you. Breathe into the left side of your neck. If your fingers were extended, you could bring them back into your lap and we'll roll the head towards the chest and then switch directions, taking the left ear to the left shoulder. You can stay here, or if you want, you can extend your right fingertips out to the side. Breathing into the right side of your neck. Your head is heavy. Your shoulders are relaxed away from your ears. And inhale back through center. You can bring your hand back to your lap as well. And then if you want to rock side to side, just going really slow at your own pace, moving with your breath. You can pause in any spots that feel a little creaky or that need a little extra attention. And if you feel comfortable going in a full circle, you're welcome to rotate your head in a full circle. Otherwise, you can just swing it or move it like a pendulum. And next time you bring your head in through center, we'll inhale, lift the chin, and gently blink the eyes open. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to move into the upper back a little bit before focusing on the low back. So we're going to hug ourselves. So just bring the right arm over the left, and you can, just grab the back of your shoulders or whatever you can reach. Just notice the expansion through your upper back. And let's keep the elbows lifted away from your torso so that your elbows or your forearms are like parallel to the floor. Just breathe here. If you want to take it a little bit further, we're going to inhale, send the elbows up to the sky. And then exhale, bring the elbows in towards the belly. Inhale, extend the elbows up. And exhale, bring them down. Inhale, bring the elbows up. Exhale, bring them down. And then let's come back in through center. Just take the arms wide. And let's switch, taking the left arm over this time, just grabbing the back of the shoulders or whatever you can reach. Noticing the sensation. We'll do the same thing, inhaling the elbows up, exhaling the elbows down. So we're just beginning to find some spinal movement. Just notice how your spine feels as you move in sync with your breath. And inhale back through center. Let's take the arms wide again. Now we're going to take the right arm, or the right hand, I should say, take it into like between your shoulder blades. You're just going to gently, with the left hand, clasp your elbow and guide that right elbow down a little bit further, and also gently press your head into your arm like it's a headrest. Keep the heart open, the back is nice and long. Take a few breaths here. If you notice that you're clenching your jaw or you're holding your breath, it's a sign that you went too far. So just back out a little. Right, inhale the arms up. And then let's take the left hand down, center of the back, gently guiding the left elbow down with your right hand, pressing your head back, spine nice and long. Notice if one side is easier than another, know that that's totally normal and okay. Continuing to breathe here. Inhale the arms up, and exhale, release them down by your sides. Okay. So now we're going to do a few forward folds. This is where if you weren't using a blanket or something to support you, I highly encourage that you find something to support you now. I'm going to take off my socks. So we're just going to begin by, I could face this way. So sitting on the edge of the blanket or block, you're just going to extend your left leg out long and bringing the right foot to your inner thigh. So if this is already a lot for you, for example, if like my hamstrings feel super tight, so it might be nice for me to roll this blanket up a little bit higher. If you find that your right knee is like all the way here, you can take blocks. If you have yoga blocks or maybe even textbooks covered by a soft blanket, you can place that underneath your knee here to support you. But yeah, please be mindful. You want your low back to be nice and straight. You want your pelvis to be, which is like a bowl, you want to be tilted forward just a little bit instead of, rounding back, which is gonna not help this low back stretching class we're doing. So, okay, so we're flexing through the feet, but the leg is otherwise relaxed. I'm actually gonna lower this blanket because this is gonna be too much if it's this high. Okay, so we're just going to inhale and twist towards the left foot. And as we exhale, we're going to melt the heart towards the thigh. Unlike a vinyasa class, we are not going to be reaching for the toes. We're just going to turn the palms up towards the sky and relax the shoulders down. So we're not focusing so much on stretching the hamstrings, we're really focusing on the low back. So keeping the shoulders relaxed, just let gravity do its thing. The feet can be flexed or they can be a little soft, whatever feels good to you. We're not pulling or reaching or just sinking into this pose. And from here, if you feel okay here, you're going to dip your chin really deep into your chest. And let your head be super heavy like a bowling ball. Allow your breath to soothe you. And as you hold this pose, you'll begin to notice some sensation along the right side of your lower back. Just keep dropping your head towards the down towards the ground. Your head doesn't need to be on the ground or anywhere close to it. You just want your chin dipped in towards your chest completely. With every exhale, soften a little bit more. Just notice what comes up for you. Your right knee is gently being guided away from your torso, so it's pressing down or rooting into the earth as your chin dips in towards your chest. Breathing into the sensation. If you find yourself to be really fidgety, or if you find your mind to be chattering a lot, return to your breath. And obviously, if you're in any pain or if there's any pinching, please back out of the pose. Do not force anything. And just a few more breaths here. And now let's flip the palms back down and gently inch our way up, rising, lifting the gaze. Okay. All right, and then let's switch the legs. So this time we'll extend the right leg out long. The left foot comes to our inner thigh. Please prop up your left knee if you need to. You could keep the foot flexed or let it soften a little bit. Be mindful that your low back is straight and that your pelvis is tipping forward just a little bit. You don't want to be leaning back like this. If you are, you need to prop yourself up a little bit higher. So from here, we're going to inhale and exhale, twist towards your left foot, and then gently just fold, relaxing, turning your palms upward towards the sky. Your shoulders move away towards your shoulders move away from your ears. Sorry, I'm messing up my words a little bit. And then if you're okay here, you can begin to dip the chin in towards the chest. Breathe into the sensation through the left side of your low back. Release all tension in other parts of your body, your jaw, your face, your hands. All those parts should be soft. So allow your heart to melt towards the ground, your head dipped in towards your chest. Allowing gravity to do the work. Tune into your breath. With every exhale, just visualize your upper body softening a little bit more, your chin dipping in towards your chest a little bit more. And let's begin to turn the palms face down and just gently make your way up, easing out of the pose. Gently bend your knee, bring your feet in back. Okay, all right, one more pose. I recommend definitely a blanket here. Um, so we're coming into Yogi Squat. It's a variation of it. So we're going to be taking the feet, we could start maybe in like a forward fold. And you're going to turn your toes out and your heels in. And then you're going to lower yourself in between your heels. So this pose can be really hard for a lot of people. That there are some modifications that are available for you. They include sitting up on a few yoga blocks. So like underneath your tush, you could use them to prop yourself up so it's a little bit less intense and more comfortable. That's an option. If you don't have yoga blocks, you can even use like a stool. I have one here, something like this you could use to sit on, or a stack of books or something. If you find that it's really hard for you to bring your heels down into the mat, you can put your heels onto the blanket that we were just using and using that as support underneath your heels. And you might even need both props. So take a moment. If you need to pause the video, you're welcome to do that and figure out what you need to do to make this pose comfortable for you. And if no modifications are accessible or feel good to you, the other alternative you can do is just coming onto your back and hugging your knees into your chest. So I'll demonstrate very quickly. So you're just lying down on your back and hugging your knees in towards your chest. You could even take your knees a little bit wide and like kind of guide them towards your shoulders. And it's a similar pose, but just on your back. Okay. So whatever variation works for you. If you're taking Yogi Squat with me, we're going to, instead of pressing our elbows into our knees to really press our knees wide, we're going to relax and we're actually going to bring our palms face up on the ground. And then we're going to dip the chin in towards the chest like what we've been doing, letting the head be really heavy. Try to feel nice stretch through the low back. And take a moment or two to adjust if there's pain or any tinging or twinging of muscles, or if you're not breathing fully, please back out of it. Be gentle with yourself. No need to force any pose. When you find the version of this pose that works for you, just tune into your breath, your head continuing to dip towards your chest. Head's like a bowling ball, it's super heavy. Allow yourself to find a moment or two of stillness. On your next inhale, gently flip the palms back down and lift your torso up. And I actually want to do one last pose, so I changed my mind. We're gonna do one last pose, but we have to do it on each side. That I think would wrap up this little class really nicely. So you're gonna come down onto your back, okay? And all right, and then we're going to bring your arms out to a T or to cactus, which you're like bending 90 degrees at the elbow and pressing into your heels. You're just going to lift your hips and shift them to the right a few inches, and then just draw your knees down towards the left. And keep pressing your right shoulder towards the mat or towards the earth. Just breathe. It's one of my favorite poses. It's so simple. It just feels so good. All right. Let's inhale through center, readjusting the hips, pressing into your heels once more. We'll shift the hips a few inches towards the left and draw the knees down towards the right. Your left shoulder pressing down into the earth as your knees draw down towards the right side. And find your breath here. Inhale the knees back up through center. Let's bring the knees in towards the chest, just wrapping your arms around them, maybe rocking side to side, massaging the low back a little bit more. And your choice in regards to how you want to come up to a seated position. You can roll over onto your right side, pause for a moment, and then gently press yourself up to seated. Or you can roll up and down along your spine to a seated position, which is what I'm going to do. So your choice. Do what works for your body. Okay. Just find a cross-legged position again. Coming back. Closing your eyes. Taking a moment. Just notice how your spine and your low back feels now compared to at the beginning of this little class. I hope you are experiencing some relief. You were feeling a lot of tightness. And I hope this is a practice you can turn back to every now and then when you need a little extra love towards your back. Let's bring the hands to heart center. Thank you all so much for joining me today in this practice. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste. Thank you again. I really hope you will subscribe. Please like the video, leave a comment, let me know your feedback below, and I hope to see you next time. Thanks again.